You know, here on this channel, I try to adhere to a pretty basic philosophy, and that is try to make good stuff. Make some pretty good stuff, and hopefully give pretty good picks. And you want to know what? I think up to this point, we've played pretty good. We call that the Bedazzled Philosophy, where if you've ever seen that movie Bedazzled with Brendan Fraser, he's this goon basketball player, and he's interviewed on the court, and he goes, you know, you go out there, you hope you play
good, and you hope you play good.
I think we played pretty good tonight, and I think so far here on the channel with this NFL season, 4 weeks in, we've won 3 of the 4 weeks. And I think that's pretty good.
You just got to play one game at a time and go out there and give 110%.
And now we're going to try to make it 4 out of 5 here. Week 5 NFL will start you nice and early for the London game. If you watched a Dave and a Dan, you know how I feel about some of these picks. And my favorite play of the week? By golly, it's still Garret Wilson. It is a total in the low 50s. Yes, he hasn't produced. But if you look behind the counter, you peek behind the curtain, you watch Fox Magic Secrets Revealed, which really was a weird show. You'd watch this magician kind of come out in one of those V for Vendetta. I thought a magician never reveals his secrets. This magician, this V for Vendetta magician, went on to Fox and revealed his secret. You better be careful, because other magicians, they'll know. I haven't seen that guy reveal any more secrets since like 2006. I think they got to him anyway. He got to the tricks. I'll get to the picks. Garret Wilson over 53.5. The reason this number is 53.5 is because he has been up against a brutal run, a legendarily brutal run of cornerbacks. Last week, you're literally talking about the best shutdown corner, Patrick Surtain. Then right before that, it was Christian Gonzalez. Then right before that was L'Jarius Sneed. And before that, first game with Rodgers on the road against the Niners, brutal stretch. But the ceiling still is the limit for this guy. And in a game against Brian Flores' defense, a lot of blitzes, getting the ball out of Rodgers' hands, I am convinced it's my favorite play of the week that he's going over this absurdly low total. You're talking about a guy who, if I asked you a couple weeks ago, don't let 2 to 3 weeks change your mind on a great young player. You know Rodgers knows that he hasn't had a big week. And we've seen many of these blow-up spots play out that way. So I'm taking his over, and I'm taking a second bet on his alt over, which you see me do frequently. But in this game, it's not the only thing that I like. Another bet that I said I like on a Dave and a Dan, that was the Jordan Addison over 37.5 receiving yards. It even came down a yard. And last week, Sunday, on the Patreon, once I knew he was active and I saw his total, you can't be treating Jordan Addison like he's just some run-of-the-mill carny. He's a really good player. His catches went for 20, 30, 20. He got 70-something yards on 3 catches. And when you think about Sauce Gardner being locked up in a matchup with Justin Jefferson all game, and you know this is one of the most pass-heavy teams in the league, Jordan Addison, who also has a tough matchup that he's dealing with, he only has a 37.5 total. This is something where I'll respect the Jets defense enough not to take any alts, not taking for 50, but 37.5, yeah, I am going to go over on that. And last week, if you remember, I was all about Aaron Jones. I said, I understand he's in a 55-45 split, but you watch this team, give him the extra carries, give him the extra work. He's signed there to play Green Bay twice. Watch how much use he's going to get. He cleared our rushing total. He cleared his 70-yard rushing alt. We didn't get the touchdown. We got screwed on that one, but they gave him a lot of work. My prediction, I can order borderline men's warehouse guarantee, it's going to come back to the normal split. The same split that you told me to be worried about, I'm now telling you, yes, I am taking your advice from last week. You incorrectly applied it to last week. Apply your own advice for this week. The 55-45 or the 58, they know they have to keep Aaron Jones healthy. You can't be giving him massive workloads every week, which is why I'm taking the over on Ty Chandler rushing. What a great number that I think is dictated by that 1 week of Aaron Jones' workhorse utilization against his old team who he was trying to stick it to. Now I will take that Ty Chandler low rushing total. This is what I do. I'm a basement bargain shopper. I'm not taking Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb. I'm not taking these 90-yard guys. I want to see them low totals. And that's what I'm going to be chasing. Give me the over on Ty Chandler rushing yards. And then, yeah, give me a little same game parlay with the three of those together to go over in that game, because I know you guys have some sort of like auto detection software where you set it in a way, only go to the parts of the video that have the word parlay. You have it run the auto captions that are generated, and you hit Apple F and you search for the word parlay, and then that's where you go in the video. There's a little early same game parlay for you.
Parlay.
Aaron Jones had himself a day last week against that Green Bay team, and now I want to go check in on Green Bay, because if you watched a Dave and a Dan, I was talking about how I was really interested in the line for Dontavian Wicks, because there's going to be no Christian Watson. And if you look at how Wicks has been utilized these previous 2 seasons when Watson's been out of the lineup, he gets a massive target share. He gets a lot of looks. And Dave guessed his line was going to be low 50s. I guessed it was going to be high 30s. It opened right in the middle, 44.5. So I got on that. It moved to 48.5. But now we're learning today that Romeo Doubs isn't going to be playing either. So if that's the case, I'm taking this 48.5 over as well. 48.5 yards when 2 of the 4 wide receivers aren't going to be playing is an unbelievable value. So give me the over 48.5 receiving yards for Dontavian Wicks. And also, and I don't know if I'm being scammed here, but I got to go over on this Josh Jacobs rushing total. You're talking about 59.5 for the primary running back on a team that's facing the Rams, who just got ran all over by a Chicago Bears team that has an awful offensive line and hasn't been able to run against anybody. They ran all over the Rams. The Rams have been hemorrhaging points since the beginning of the season. Remember, no Aaron Donald. It's a makeshift team defensively. And Josh Jacobs is a very good running back, and that team might run a little more often now that they don't have their full complement of receivers. So 59.5 is something I'm absolutely going to take. Give me that over there. By the time you watch this, it may have gone up, but that's part of the reason I make these available on the Patreon and I communicate them, get a message out. If it's too late, it's too late. What can you do? Fortunately for you, I got another thing I like in this game. This is how it goes. Sometimes I look at a game, I got nothing. Sometimes I look at a game and, I'm seeing things all over the supermarket that I like. You ever been like that, where there are some supermarkets like, oh my, I hate everything in here? Then you go to other supermarkets, you come home with things you didn't even expect to have in your cart. That's the kind of supermarket this game is. Wow, I'm really feeling like a used car salesman today. Anyway, Jordan Whittington on the LA Rams last week, he took over the Cooper Kupp role in terms of where he was lining up, the amount of snaps he played, the types of routes he ran. And obviously you can see that reflected in the score sheet. What was it, 6 catches or 8 catches or something like that? He was running all these different routes, short, intermediate, and then the Tutu Atwells and Robinsons of the world were running the deeper routes. But if he's getting this type of utilization, and we're seeing a receiving total in the mid-40s, you can bet your ass I'm taking the over. Give me the over on Jordan Whittington. And yeah, that's right. He's also going to be taken for an alt over. So give me the over, 45.5, and then give me that slightly higher alt receiving total for Jordan Whittington. So first we talked about Aaron Jones, who ran all over the Packers last week, and then we moved to the Packers, who have Josh Jacobs, who are going to run all over the Rams, who got ran all over last week by the Chicago Bears. This is like one of those 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon separation where we're all apparently related to Kevin Bacon. You know Kevin Bacon. I know. You don't know Kevin Bacon.
You never had your car.
You want to know somebody else you definitely don't know? Roshan Johnson. Don't feel bad. I don't know him either, but one thing I do know about him is he's going over his rushing total. Because if you watch the Bears last week, they changed their approach. They went to an extremely run-heavy approach against those LA Rams that Josh Jacobs is going to run all over this week. And they ran the ball a ton. It was all Swift and Roshan Johnson. Khalil Herbert completely got phased out, didn't play a single snap, didn't get a single carry. And now, who will these Chicago running backs be facing? Because I can understand. You want to take these guys. You've seen them play all the other weeks. You always tell us, Andy, don't fall in love after 1 week. Unless you're facing the Carolina run defense that both the Bengals running backs, who neither of them had a big game all season, really destroyed. They destroyed this Panthers run D. So if we're going to be getting more touches for both of these running backs, that's how they won last week. You'd assume they carry forward a similar approach against the Panthers. Then give me the running back with the lower total, because We still don't know how much we trust DeAndre Swift. He looked pretty bad in those first couple of weeks. So much to the point, they said they were going to get an extended look at Roschon Johnson last week. Give me that over 28.5 rushing for Roschon Johnson in this game against the Carolina Panthers. And then I will end you with a couple of receivers that I like in the 50s. I can't afford these 60s, 70s, 80s. We're shopping in the 50s because that's how you ball on a budget. It allows you to take alts. It allows you to take fully depreciated lines that have great value. And then when it gets to Chris Olave or Rashee Rice territory, we will wave goodbye. But there are a few of these names that I've said before, names I hope you're scared by, because I personally love it when you guys lose on somebody. Not that you lose, but then you go, he's banned. He's on the banned list. Ban him. Just showing the classic I just started betting approach. That's what happens. But you want to know what's even worse? When that guy does go over, and now he screwed you both ways. He didn't go over when you bet on him. Then you go, oh, I'm staying away from this guy. And then he goes over. Then you go, oh, this guy has kind of screwed me both ways. One is Christian Kirk, who week 1, he screwed us. I never forget. But I kept watching. I said, what's he doing now? What's he doing now? We want to know what he's done. 15 catches in the last 2 weeks. Clearly, he's had that connection with Trevor Lawrence. It's obviously helped that Evan Ingram hasn't played. So we do have to check his status, and he did get some limited practices in. But Christian Kirk, 51.5. Did you see what Pickens did to the Colts last week? It's not like it's some great secondary. So I'm going to go over 51.5 for Christian Kirk. And then next on that list is Amari Cooper, another 51.5 receiving total. This is a guy who had an 80-yard touchdown nullified by a fake penalty last week, and then he dropped a brutal drop with the game on the line towards the end. It was like a 30-yard drop. Those two factors together, and then going against this Commanders pass defense, where the Commanders are saying, like, hey, we're going to get ours. Oh, yeah, we'll give you yours, but we're going to get ours. There are going to be plenty of opportunities there. We saw Cooper kind of have a blow-up game 2 weeks ago. Should have had a huge game last week. And because of those mess-ups, because of a fake penalty that didn't even happen, and then one huge drop, they've kept his total low. I'm thinking this week mimics 2 weeks ago. So give me that over on Amari Cooper, and then one that it's going to make me smile. It's going to make me smile a lot because to you guys, he's definitely banned. But there's a reason he wasn't producing, and that's Travis Kelce. Rashee Rice, Travis Kelce, all their routes are run on the same part of the field. So if you're Patrick Mahomes, and let's say both of them are open 10 yards down the field, who are you giving it to? You're going to be passing it to Rice. Well, Rice left that last game, and who blew up? Travis Kelce, because all those passes were now available to him, and he was the primary read for Mahomes in that short and intermediate range. I really think we'll get one shot at this low tie. I know I said that last time, but we're presented another opportunity with Rashee Rice not being in this game. So give me that over for Travis Kelce. And with all these said, now we can cook you a pirate parlay. Let's start with Garret Wilson. So I guess this one will be cooked early if he loses. Give me 80 plus on Garret Wilson, 70 plus on Amari Cooper, 60 plus on Jordan Whittington. And if you remember my scam trick, let's take the alt, a low alt, a heavy minus alt on the over for Travis Kelce as the last leg, so we can hedge if we need to and give us an opportunity to win both. That is what I have for you here. Sunday, week 5. Let's look to continue this pretty good week. If you guys would be so kind, do me that litany of favors. Like, comment, subscribe. Call your dad, tell him you still think about him from time to time, then come back to the computer, click the notifications. If you don't want to get screwed on these prices, I'm sure half these prices, 3/4 of these prices are considerably worse. Why? Because you're a donkey who puts in your bets at $12.55 on Sunday. The worst thing you could ever do, unless you're betting on unders, because you're going to wait for the very people who are watching this video to bet it up to its highest point, and then you're going to chuckle there and take Dontavian Wicks like under 73 receiving. So if you want those prices when they're immediately available, I post those on the Patreon. Notification goes out when there's something new that I like. So hopefully I will see you there for the next round of games. If not, I will see you here for Monday Night Football. And don't you dare ask me for the scam in the middle of Prague while other preseason games are going on NHL. The real NHL videos, even though the first part of the season is scam hockey, start this week. I know I'll see you there, but I'll also see you for Monday Night Football. I'll talk to you then.
Well, you know, you go out there and you give 110% and you want to play good and, you know, you hope you play good. I think we play pretty good tonight.